You see attacks coming, you react, you respond with precision. But you always answer, never ask. The fight happens to you, not shaped by you. That is not a reaction time failure. It is a predictive blindness failure. You operate in the now, you see what happens and respond. But advanced combat operates in the next, understanding what will happen and positioning to control it. The action-reaction cycle keeps you one step behind. Your opponent acts, you react. That puts you perpetually in response mode. You never create your own initiatives. You always answer their questions. This gap is not about speed. It is about foresight. You can train your reactions to be faster, but if you only react, you still follow. The fix is not faster reactions. It is predictive positioning. You need to see what is coming before it arrives. That means reading the setup, not just the technique. Stop fighting the present. Start directing the future. You see individual techniques but miss the larger patterns. You focus on the trees while ignoring the forest. Your opponent sets up a jab with a foot shift, then follows with a cross. You see the cross, but you miss the foot shift that telegraphed it. Pattern blindness means you fight tactically, not strategically. You respond to each attack as a separate event. You never see the rhythm, the tendencies, the habits. A fighter who sees patterns can anticipate. A fighter who only sees techniques can only react. You need to train your eyes to see the sequence, not just the strike. Watch the feet, the shoulders, the breath. Those elements form the pattern. Read the pattern and you read the fight. You recognize the main attack but miss the setup movements that announce it. A punch does not start at the fist. It starts with the weight shift, the shoulder turn, the foot placement. You respond to the punch but you ignore the setup that told you it was coming. Setup ignorance means you are always playing catch-up. You react to the technique, not the intention. The White Lotus system trains you to read these subtle telegraphs. You learn to see the weight shift before the kick, the shoulder tension before the punch. When you read the setup, you gain a half-second advantage. That half-second is the difference between blocking and evading, between reacting and preempting. Do not wait for the technique. Read the setup. You do not understand when you have the initiative versus when your opponent does. You attack when you should defend when you should attack. This confusion breaks your momentum. The initiative is the control of the fight's tempo. When you have it, you dictate the action. When your opponent has it, you respond. Most fighters do not know how to recognize this shift. They fight on autopilot, reacting to whatever comes. The White Lotus system teaches you to read the initiative. You learn to see when your opponent is committed and when they are vulnerable. You learn to seize the initiative when it is available and surrender it strategically when it is not. Control the initiative, and you control the fight. Most martial arts training reinforces reactive thinking. You practice specific responses to specific attacks. Your partner feeds you predictable movements. You always know what is coming next. This builds excellent reactive skills but poor predictive capabilities. You become great at responding to what happens, but poor at influencing what will happen. The problem is the training method. Cooperative drills, static scenarios, immediate feedback, all of these remove the unpredictability of real combat. You never learn to read an opponent who tries to hide their intentions. You never learn to predict when you do not know what is coming. To develop predictive capability, you need training that challenges your ability to see the unseen. You need pressure testing against unpredictable opponents. Predictive capability is not psychic power. It is understanding cause and effect in combat. When you see a weight shift left, you know a right cross is likely. When you see a shoulder drop, you know a kick is coming. These are probabilities, not certainties, but probabilities give you an edge. You position yourself to capitalize on the most likely outcome. If you are wrong, you adjust. But if you are right, you are already in control. The prediction-action connection means you act based on what you expect, not just what you see. This is not guessing. It is reading the combat elements and making informed decisions. Train your eyes to see the causes, and your body will be ready for the effects. At Modern Combat Martial Arts, or MCMA, we build your foundation with basic skill development, mechanical precision that makes prediction possible. Once your techniques are unconscious, we develop your predictive capabilities through intermediate skill development. You learn to read combat elements, foot placement, weight distribution, breathing patterns. You practice pattern recognition drills where your partner varies attacks. You learn to identify the setup before the technique. You train to seize the initiative and disrupt your opponent's rhythm. This is not mystical. It is systematic. You develop the ability to see not just what is happening, but what is likely to happen next. You move from reactive to predictive fighting. You stop answering questions and start asking them. That is the difference between surviving and controlling. Stop fighting the present. Start directing the future. Train your eyes to see the patterns, your mind to read the probabilities, and your body to act before you need to.